Well, this is one of those stories. So we go to the gig, which is Tilbury Working Men's Club. So this is 1974. I'm 14, and obviously completely and utterly, naive, all this sort of stuff. Anyway, we go and do the gig, and the guy say, look, if you don't know what you're doing, just drop out or try and follow the bass or whatever it was. I gotta get shot while we're playing in the toilets.
Oh, nice. Where was this?
Tilbury Working Men's Club.
That was it.
Yeah, Tilbury Working Men's Club, right? Anyway, what had actually happened was there was a turf war going on. Tilbury's a port town.
Yeah.
So you can imagine. So there's drugs, there's prostitution, there's whatever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, going on. And this guy, unfortunately, came in for a drink, and members of the rival faction, if you like, were in there, 3 or 4 of them. They saw him going into the toilets and thought, we're never going to get an opportunity like this again, so they shot him.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Charming people.
I know. Well, this was one of those sort of like things where I thought, right, this can't be true. Looking back at it in retrospect, I thought I must have made that up. And 30 years later, I've got a team squash match because I do squash as my sport.
Yeah.
I've got a team squash match, and we play over at Tilbury. We play at Tilbury. You have a few beers and a meal afterwards. It's part of the social side of it. And this particular time, the actual catering facility in the actual centre wasn't available. So they said, right, follow me. We're going to go just down the road, if you like, to a little social club. So we go down to this social club. We get in there, and I have this feeling of déjà vu. I've been here before. Now, after playing in there, as you can imagine, I've never been in the place again since.
Yeah.
And I'd completely forgotten about it. And I said, this looks really familiar. And then, of course, it starts to dawn on me what's going on. And so I said to one of the guys, Bill, who was a local, Bill, I've got to ask you this question. You've lived here all your life, haven't you? And he was a bit older than me. I said, do you remember there was a bloke getting shot in here? He said, oh yeah. He said, that was a big thing. He said, that was years ago. And so as I say, so the story goes.
Yeah. Scary old world, isn't it?
Well, it was then, because I can't comment on the rival gangs, but that's what he told me afterwards. He said that's why it happened, because we didn't know at the time. We just played and went.
Oh, there was something similar. I think it might have been gang related as well, but this was a lot later. Do you remember? Was it Cartouche in Ipswich? It was the old mill that was a nightclub and everything, and someone got shot in there as well, didn't they? I think that was supposed to be some sort of kind of gang related thing. Yeah.
I mean, you can see why these things happen. I mean, and I suppose it was just an opportunist thing whereby the two warring factions over it were trying to get control of the drugs and the prostitutes and all that sort of stuff that any port town has. This is knocking Tilbury.